Danganronpa 3, the black sheep within the family. Everybody hates this show. Now, my opinions of Danganronpa 3 will be another video, but for now, I'll just say this.
I actually liked this anime.
Hey, it's me. Just one thing. You have a job to finish.
Hello, neighbor?
Hey, it's me.
Oh, hey, boss, what's up?
Just one thing. You have a job to finish.
Really? What's that?
Danganronpa.
Danganronpa? Never heard of her.
Because you cut off all ties with her months ago.
Wait, really, boss? I'm just being metaphoric.
Are you trying to mock me?
No, boss, I'm just trying to like Mikan's execution. Yes, I'm mocking you.
Oh, for crying out loud, do you really hate Danganronpa that badly?
The law requires me to answer no. I like Danganronpa. I just don't like the fandom.
That excuse is so overused, it is getting loose.
Just like your own hole.
Why do I still keep you around anymore?
Because you need the motivation. How about a bottle of Lecitin?
No?
Really? This usually works. What about zinc?
Look, all I'm trying to say here is that you need to make peace with Danganronpa. It has been far too long.
I can't do that. I like Danganronpa 3.
Wow, really?
Yes! How can I be a part of the fandom when my taste is so bad? Hell, the problem is even when I remotely hint at the idea that I like Danganronpa 3, people are so disgusted they revoked my Danganronpa license. And I spent $800 for her.
Wait, I don't understand. If she is no longer valid, then why do you still keep her around?
Because she makes a good paperweight. And she's looking pretty good today. She could use some ramen though.
But that's still not a reason. You stormed out of there. Look, I promise, it is not as bad as you remember. After all, Christmas is right around the corner. All you have to do is to get in there and make peace with them.
You know, if I can roll the credits right now, I will.
Too bad, you can't.
Okay, look boss, I can't get behind the idea that I want to go out there and prove a bunch of normies why my taste is better. But what's in it for me?
Well, firstly, you can finally be at peace with the fandom. Secondly, you can finally justify your sad existence. Thirdly, you can also contribute to the fandom to make it slowly better and less toxic. And finally, if you have been paying attention to what I'm saying here, it is proof that you can actually do all of this stuff.
Oh, wait, sorry, what? Oh, hey boss, sorry, I was not paying attention. I was bidding my Gundam Mono kit. Oh, silly me. Anyway, you were saying?
You remind me of Kokichi, Oma.
Hey, at least my boy Kokichi have standards, unlike the rest of the fandom.
Wait, do you even know what makes the fandom so toxic?
Oh yes, I do. The combination of the two worst things. One, the normies filling up the fandom with their toxic behavior, and two, the very disastrous launch of Danganronpa V3. And it's one hell of a buggy game.
You do know that they fixed most of the bugs in the game, right?
Yeah, they did fix most of the bugs, but you know what they didn't fix? Chagashira Tenko, both her personality and her left hand.
You are dodging my questions.
Good. Can I dodge this conversation?
No.
Listen, boss, I don't understand. What are you trying to accomplish out of all this?
Because you don't know what's at stake here.
Oh yes, I do. My Dreamcast.
Your Dreamcast is more important than your dignity?
This thing can run 60 FPS.
You obviously don't get it. You don't know what is the problem here.
You know that's impossible. I don't dox people.
You do dismiss the whole fandom as being toxic just because of your own encounter with them.
Well, what can I say? First impressions last a lifetime.
But look, what if you can change all of that?
I'm not opposed to changing. I'm just scared shitless.
Well, there is this chance. There is something going on within the Danganronpa subreddit. There is a perfect opportunity over there.
Really? What is it?
It is a place where keyboard warriors gather and form mobs, but that's not important right now. You just go in there and all you have to do is to make a post and make some kind of good impression with them.
And what makes you think they'll listen? They made their stance very clear. They don't like Danganronpa 3.
Oh, I'm counting on it.
Normie in disguise. Gotta get this shit fixed. Bunch of normies. What do they know about change? Okay, neighbors, I know the future arc episode is not that good, but maybe it'll get better from here. After all, we still got 6 more episodes to go.
Really, I've had a lot of problems with the Miyai hand so far, and this really just highlights what's wrong with it in this entire episode.
Okay, yes, future arc is not perfect, but hey, maybe it will get better from here.
These writers have absolutely no faith in your memory or your intelligence whatsoever.
Sure, that may be the case, but maybe they're just trying to build up to something. Maybe have like some kind of build up throughout the whole series. Like, remember the previous episode? That was not that bad.
I honestly would have been okay with it not being that good though, as long as everyone was in character, but not only did they fail even that bare minimum, Despair Chapter instead focuses on explaining what's better off left unexplained and how Enoshima destroyed the world.
Well, because the writers did come up with a few good ideas throughout the show. Maybe you guys should, I don't know, set your expectations right?
No, it wasn't. Shut the fuck up. This show wasn't worth jack shit.
Then fuck you all! Why is everyone in this community so fucking stupid? There's so many good things out of the show, but no, apparently always fake death can ruin everything. As if the second game didn't have that kind of shit. Fuyuhiko will be rolling in the grave right now. Fucking armies.
Okay, you know what? Fair enough. It has been a few years since Danganronpa 3 came out. Maybe some people have changed. Back then people hated V3, but now people appreciated it. Maybe this could be the same case. There goes nothing. Let's keep out of here.
Stand up, まだ僕を呼んでる声が Yesterday, no だって関係はないさ Stardust, あなただけのゲームストーバー Dead or alive, dead or alive 自由を見たくて Go out
wrong subreddit.
Oh, hello neighbors, Akibataku here. I am a super high school level otaku to be, and hopefully we can all get along here. Good evening fellow user, my name is Adminton. I am the head of the spoiler-free Danganronpa subreddit. Let us work hard on our analytical crusade. Hey, My name is Nagito-stan. That's not my username, that's my given name, goddammit, and yeah, that's all there is to it. Okay, I hope we have a good time here then everyone. Yeah. Where's everyone else? Ah yes, very good question fellow user. You see, the other day, a fellow user has been caught trying to spread the trial results of Danganronpa 2-3. Spoilers are not welcome in a school environment, and therefore, I decided it was best to ban him for 3 consecutive days. But like, isn't that just one dude? Then where is everyone else then? Wait, yeah, that's why I come in. You see, right before Edmonton here banned that guy's ass, the guy actually doxed him by stating that he does not like Sakura Ogami. In a fit of outrage, everyone left the server to boycott this guy. Holy shit, is this real? I shamefully admit that this is true. However, discussion of it is not welcome in a school environment. But wait, this is just his opinion shit. Can't you just convince them otherwise? Not if he wants his family to be safe. God help me. God help you. Well, I suppose it's still great to see what's left out of it. Nice to meet you two. I hope we can all get along. Yes, of course. Now, tell me, what do you know about Shuichis and Kokichis? What is that? Oh, this? Yeah, that. Danganronpa tree?
Whoa! Why did you bring that shit here? Get that shit out
please
here
calm
right now.
down.
This course does not even belong in the fucking canon. Why are you
there's
even
no
bringing
reason
that
to
shit
treat
here?
him this way.
Disrupting
We
all
don't need
the
to
peace.
yell
I don't
around
give a
this, alright?
fuck what you think about that.
Swearing
That should not be here right now.
Stop swearing.
You shut up. You shut up.
There is no need for all this. Stop swearing right now. We don't need any of this. Please, we just need to listen to one another. We need more of this. Why did I sign up for this? I didn't sign up for any of this. Why? I just want to keep everyone happy. There's no need to keep all this. Everyone down right now. Stop. What the hell? You enjoy Danganronpa 3? Yes? What the fuck, man? How? Follow user, please calm down. I think we can all collectively agree that Danganronpa 3 is bad. However, within this school environment, I also believe we can also hear other people out. Are you serious? How is that even possible? Danganronpa 3 had plenty of retcons, it has ruined many character developments, it has so much wasted potential, and it ended Danganronpa in the worst ways possible. A happy ending! Oh, okay neighbors, listen up. I get that the show is not how everyone expected it to be, but at the end of the day, you gotta admit, it's a pretty damn good show. There were some legit good things in it. That idea is just as real as Atua himself. Fellow user, I strongly suggest that we hear this fellow user out, for that is the function of the school environment. Also, blaspheming against Atua is not welcome in the school environment. We should expect a permaban within 3 days. Okay neighbors, listen up. While we're here, why don't we just make this a little bit more interesting today, seeing how literally no one else will show up today, and I conveniently enough brought an essay here that I'm definitely not bringing here to push some kind of agenda. So while we're here, why don't we have a little bit of a lecturing today? Here is why Danganronpa 3, it is not as bad as you think it is. Starting with Danganronpa 3 was supposed to serve as the grand finale to the Hope Speak arc. It was separated into 3 parts: Future Arc, Despair Arc, and Hope Arc. The first 2 were 12 episodes each, while the Hope Arc being a final concluding episode. Many people were rather vocal about this idea, for the first anime of Danganronpa actually kinda sucked. I, however, argue that Danganronpa 3 was the perfect candidate for an anime adaptation. Not only does a video game version of Danganronpa 3 will take so much more longer, but also both arcs watching back to back can complement each other for the whole series.
But even after all of that, it is still not a valid reason. Not only did Kodaka not write any of this, but the pre-existing writers were absolute shitheads.
Alright, listen up. First of all, have you even seen anything else these guys have made?
No, because they look like shit. To level the playing ground, fellow user, I believe a good writer can work with whatever he has been given with. A good writer will always find some weird concept and always find a way to make it work. Look at Kazutaka Togaka, for example. He always finds a way to make Danganronpa work, and to be fair, one of the Danganronpa 3 writers did work on Kamen Rider Guide, one of the most well-renowned Kamen Rider series within the franchise. The fuck is that?
Oh, okay, let's not talk about that part. But even if Kodaka can fix most of these problems, hypothetically, you have to remember, he is not even prepared for this stuff. He is writing V3 alongside Danganronpa 3. He is very busy during that time, and what's wrong with giving other writers a chance to write this franchise? After all, other writers have written other parts of Danganronpa, and they have been decently well received, so what's wrong with this one?
But even then, Kodaka should have just chose one and stick to it.
Well, there's not much difference here really, especially for the rest of you lots. Remember, on one hand, you can have a shitty anime with a great ending, or two, you can have a great game with a shitty ending. There is no difference at the end of the day really if you think about it. It's like freaking, I don't know, child labor. On one hand, you can suffer labor pain, or on the other hand, you can just go through abortion.
At least one of them gave birth to Kokichi. Permission to intervene. Even if Danganronpa 3 had a trouble development, it is still not an excuse for it to be a subpar product.
Alright, listen, this is not a good start, I can admit that, but hey, there are still other things about Danganronpa 3 you can appreciate, with it being perhaps one of the more controversial parts of Danganronpa 3 is the brainwashing. People were so hyped out on the mystery of what caused the remnants of the spirit to become who they are. We spent the whole second day in participation for this very moment, but then we were told, nope, they were just brainwashed. Everyone was furious and underwhelmed, and honestly I can somewhat see their point, but the thing about brainwashing, to me at least, is that within the context of Danganronpa, it does make sense.
Makes sense? You think this franchise-wrecking plot device makes sense?
But hey, at least this makes more sense than Mikan herself. And she's still a great character.
Permission to know what are you implying?
All I'm saying here is that brainwashing makes sense on the idea that it both expands on the world of Danganronpa, and it can also help on developing the characters.
What?
Where is the rewind button?
The whole reason why we hated brainwashing is because Danganronpa 2 made it look like they willingly became remnants of despair. That could have been so much more interesting.
This is also the game where it has been hinted or even established or hell, even confirmed on the idea that these characters have been brainwashed.
Consent! That code does exist in Danganronpa 2, for I have played it 7 times at this point. I take good pride in that. But despite that, I highly doubt Makoto actually meant it in the literal sense.
Wait, why the hell not? This is a franchise literally where every single fucking line counts. So why out of all lines we decide to retcon, this one gets the boot?
TLDR, even with what Makoto said was true, it didn't really change the fact that this was an underwhelming development. Not only did it really ruin the reveal and the build-up and all the tension we had across the 2 games, but also this completely rid of all the responsibilities and fall of Class 77. And even then, it kinda made me lose respect for Junko as a real villain. Instead of this big, evil, twisted genius that somehow convinced these same people to become remnants of despair, nope, all she did was brainwash these people. This in turn kinda made me lose respect for her as a villain and oversimplified Danganronpa as a whole.
I mean, yeah, but how? How can these people, where they're, well, mostly sane, can become world-ending terrorists? You have to remember, even with Junko's power and, well, IQ, she can't just merely transform these people into monsters with merely just talking. I mean, besides Nagito, Hiyoko, and maybe Fuyuhiko, these characters have no incentive or even have the ability to end the world. Freaking look at Teru Teru!
Oh wait, this is where my archives finally come in. Okay,
Junko can forge fake documents while her hero uses it to spread misinformation and lead to civil unrest. The Kuzuryu clan can riot the streets and destroy the Japanese government because Junko convinced him that the only way to preserve his family legacy is to get rid of the opposing sides. Sonia can wage wars against neighboring countries in fear of potential threat and invasions. The ultimate imposter can impersonate literally anybody in the world, so this gives him loads of potential already. Mikan is more than willing to kill. All Junko has to do was to use their fears against them.
Okay, fair enough. Those are good ideas. What about Akane?
Quite simple, really. She wants food, she gets it. No matter how much bloodstain there is.
Okay, look, if she's really that desperate for food, she should have become a socialist instead, not a freaking terrorist.
Are you trying to mock her?
Objection! If Akane actually became a run of despair, by that definition, won't she actually become a socialist already? Is there a real difference?
Actually make the worst sense. I can get behind that. You deserve all IQs, man. You have a higher IQ than I do. I want to suck your dick. Oh, that's so smart. Yeah, that can I get behind that. Yes, I can get behind that. That's so smart of you. Yeah, maybe that's who that was person at the end of the day. Yes, that's so smart of you. Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yes.
Yeah, you are very smart. I will give you that. That is very clever of you. All right. How about Hiyoko?
What?
I mean, we all know Hiyoko is a precious member of the Remnants of Despair. So what's her excuse? Then what about Kazuichi Soda? We all know he cannot do shit. Even Sonia knows that.
I wish to contribute. I believe that yes, Soda is indeed fearful, however, I think that can be used to turn against him.
Hey, are you okay? Alright, but even then, he's not brave enough to commit fucking genocide. I mean, let's take this perspective. Even what he said is true and Junko somehow convinced them to become terrorists, what would compel them to do some really messed up stuff? I mean, we have to remember, these characters have supposedly done some fucked up shit during their times as Remnants of Despair. Look at Mikan. She just dug out the womb of Junko and transplanted it inside of her just to have her child. What will compel these characters to do something like this unless they're not themselves and they are being brainwashed? Is that so hard to believe?
But even if that's the case, this does not change the fact that this has devalued Junko as a villain. Think about it. For the past games, we have been building up Junko as this giant devil who can throw the world into despair. Because of that, the very fact that we see that she has so many different ways to turn people into despair, and yet she goes the simple way possible, brainwashing, this practically, I don't know, devalues her.
Oh, you want to go that route, eh? Alright, let's go! The hell are you two doing?
There will be bloodshed.
Wait, this cannot be right. I mean, I know the Danganronpa fanbase have a really weird moral compass, but this cannot how it all ends up be. I mean, Amundsen, you hate violence, right?
Your assumptions are accurate, my fellow user. But you also know what you're missing? My hatred for bad writing.
Bad writing is worse than death to you?
This is Danganronpa, fellow user. You should be used to that by now. Well, to be fair, my boy Kokichi suffered a worse fate.
Honestly, I say Sonia was worst.
He said it!
Another major complaint I see is that 77B basically goes through no character development at all, even with some characters of future arc like Makoto and the rest. People wanted to see some character progression, and they also wanted to see nostalgia. This was one of the big things people were looking forward to Danganronpa 3, and it severely disappointed them to see that it was nothing more than watered down versions of their favorite characters, and once again...
Wait, what are you coming back to me for? I'm not ready yet. My earpiece was shot off. Just give me like 5 minutes,
Wait,
jeez.
What? Oh, okay, got it. Hold on. Okay, in many ways, I can actually understand this frustration. But Makoto here literally had no character development, and he still somehow wins. Nearly half of the Future Foundation is disposable, and Class 77 just feels so wasted. Are you done yet?
Yeah, don't worry, I'm fine. Alright. Shall we begin?
What about Makoto then? He has no development.
Yeah, he did. It's called Trigger Happy Havoc. He has already been through his character development. If anything, right now, we are supposed to see how he is acting as a fully fledged person. Kodaka has made it a point that all the characters should be teenagers because teenagers go through much more changes than adults do. Right now, he's a fully fledged person with experience. If anything, I say that Danganronpa 2 even gave us a little bit more of character development, but That's about it. If he's not gonna go through any more development, then why bother bringing him back? So we can see him in the test. If anything, Danganronpa 1 and 2 is him developing his knowledge. Danganronpa 3 is his final exam where we can finally see if his ideas are still standing even after everything he has been through. I can actually get behind that. Naegi has so far only been challenged with his own ideas of hope against despair. This is the time, however, to see how good he is at being the ultimate hope. This to me is what made Murakata and Makoto so compelling here. All Junko really has done so far is being the big bad for Makoto, but Murakata here actually has his own idea of hope, so it made his clash against Makoto so much more interesting. Naegi believes that both hope and despair is needed for the world to exist, while Murakata thinks that getting rid of despair is the only way to achieve hope. This is what made the whole thing so compelling for me in the first place and motivated me to continue watching the series. Wow, I actually didn't thought of it that way. Of course you haven't, because they're still class 77. What about them? You know, useless. Ah yes, they don't need them. What the hell? I mean, think about it. Everyone we have seen prior to Danganronpa 3 has already been through some kind of character development within the games. So what's the point of, I don't know, doing that all over again? Oh yeah? Then what about Bandai? He didn't appear in the games. Alright, fair enough. Some of them have been killed off as cannon fodder, like the new characters, but for the characters that we actually, let's be honest to ourselves, give a shit about, they have already been through character development, so why make them go through it again? Yeah, but even if they are in their prime, they're just not that well written. I mean, look at Akane. All she is really is she's hungry for food and she had big tits. Nekomaru, he likes to shit bomb everywhere. Peko and Fuyuhiko, fanservice shipping. And hell, look at Teru. They somehow fuck him up. Now he's just a rice rapist. Okay, first of all, that last remark was racist. Second of all, what do you mean? These are them in prime. Is it stereotypical? Yeah, maybe, but that's not a bad thing, is it? So you are actually saying that the quality of the show got degraded because of the fan service, which in turn sacrificed most of its development. What do you mean? No, I mean... Oh, okay. It's not just... Okay, you know what? Fine. It is fan service, but at least it looks nice. You see, this is why otakus are a threat to society. Eating nothing but sexualized trash. Oh, that's offensive. We are the ones funding the goddamn industries, you idiots. Alright, you know what? If you want to talk about character development, let's talk about... Chiaki Nanami is not only a goddamn Mary Sue, but also a goddamn contradiction to the Danganronpa universe. Consent! I wouldn't say she is a Mary Sue, but more so she does not have enough flaws. And that's supposed to be an excuse? Yeah, well, but here's the thing, she did serve functions. She is here to help Hajime in his personal character development, pushing him into becoming Izuru at the end, and to show us what kind of significance she has to Class 77B. We can now understand why these characters cherish her so much. Hell, whenever we look back at Danganronpa 2 from now on, we can understand why Chiaki is so important to them. We can understand that Chiaki was responsible for bringing them together in the first place. And that's somehow supposed to be an excuse? Her whole existence is a contradiction to the origin of alter ego Chiaki. She is here not only for fan service, but also to bait the fans for her death at the end of the series. Hell, actually, now that I think about it, her runtime could have been used for the development of Class 77. Instead, we are stuck with her. Well, if you want to go on that front, I even argue that if anyone needs character development, it's Chiaki, Midori, and most importantly, the ultimate imposter. Think about it. Prior to all of this, we don't actually know anything about the ultimate imposter. This is the perfect opportunity and they took it. Right now we know more about the imposter and we see the humanity in him. Not to mention, it is also great to see him actually help Midori. If anything, I actually argue that this is a great prequel story. Chiaki embodies the innocence of Class 77, but even though we know where this is all going, it made us all appreciate all those innocent times even more, and it made it all the more crushing when we actually find out what happened at the end. Is that not what Danganronpa is all about? I would have consent to that, however, based on the fact that Danganronpa 2.5 does not have Chiaki in it, tells me that Chiaki was never supposed to be human in the first place. Alright, she may have retconned a few things here and there, but maybe she's still good for the franchise as a whole. You're running out of shit, aren't you? No, I still got stuff right here. What about... Okay, now you're just pulling my fucking leg. Ryuto Mitarai can't even stand on his own. His talent is bullshit, his story is bullshit, his place in the anime was bullshit. Hell, the finale is bullshit. He's just a Ikari Shinji knockoff. And that's saying a lot. Okay, firstly, he did have a great character design, let's just admit that. And secondly, while his animation skills may have a moral dilemma behind them, at least it does serve as an important contrast to his supposed cliche talent. Even then, it doesn't change the fact that he's a spineless bitch. He somehow let Junko and Mukuro toy with him without getting help. He's a goddamn shut-in, and you know it. He doesn't even stand a chance against the lads. Hell, to me, it's even kind of entertaining to see him being toyed by the two. What about his character development? He just went from a whiny bitch to a whiny bitch of power. Well, to put this simply, Despair arc was supposed to have us see him slowly descend into regret and madness of what he did. Future arc was supposed to have us see him being pushed further and further enough to go to opposite extreme, and Hope arc was supposed to let us see his final redemption. Think about it, if you're in his shoes, won't you feel at least a little bit of grief and regret over what you've done? Yeah, but he didn't need to be a spineless brat about it. Every time we see him, he just can't keep on rambling about how weak he is and how pathetic he is and how sympathetic he wants to be. I mean, come on the hell on, grow a damn spine. And he did grow a spine. All it took was Class 77 to assure him that they are going to be by his side and going to suffer the pain together, and boom, he's already done. And that's another thing. Junko threatened to kill Class 77, but Mitarai doesn't even know them. He has never been to class. Why does he care if these group of strangers literally die if he does not work with this crazy bitch? But do you know who he does know? The imposter and Mikan. Those two came to his aid when he needed them the most. He obviously cherished the two of them. He does not have what it takes to sacrifice the two of them for his own safety. Hell, I even bet that he does not have what it takes to sacrifice the 16 students. It's just not part of his character. And that's not even half of my problems. The entire future arc killing game hinges on this one guy. Let me get this straight, Hamilton. Basically, what Tengen wants to do is to host a killing game so that Mitarai will be hopefully pushed further enough so they can play a whole brainwashing video to the rest of the world. If I recall correctly, then yes. That is so much trouble. Why can't Tengen just take the damn video and broadcast it himself? So let's go over this idea. If Tengen really did just take the video from Mitarai, then what? Does he really expect Future Foundation to just let him do it? The Future Foundation will not stand for this kind of idea. If anything, the killing game was supposed to have Tengen killing off all of the competition just so no one would stop him at the final point. Think about it. What if Murakata actually found out he's gonna brainwash the entire world? All he has to do was to get rid of everybody and just do the thing. But because Mitarai showed up, he then decides to let others do his evil deeds so he will not be responsible for it. Isn't that just the definition of evil? I would like to believe that is the case. However, I actually have seen Danganronpa a few times already, and this never really came to occur to me. So in that sense, I highly doubt this is actually what the writers actually intended. That's the problem, you see. It is people like him who keep on justifying trash like this and kept on ruining the franchise's quality. Well, that could be explained by alright, you know what? Fuck all this. Fuck everything about this. Why are you all so closed off like this? Why can't you all just see the light at the end of the tunnel? I must apologize, fellow user. I just simply cannot see what makes this series so good to you. What? Don't you get it? Danganronpa 3 is bad. What? You're not even fazed by this, even with all the convincing I tried to do earlier? I'm afraid that is the case. There are just simply too much problems with Danganronpa 3 for me to call it good. But despite that, no. You're all just pulling my leg. You all actually love Danganronpa 3, don't y'all? Come on, just say it. There's no harm in that. You think we're pulling your leg? Danganronpa 3 has practically devolved and deconstructed so many things Kodaka has spent years building upon, and even introduced a bunch of pointless shit. Like Aoi's and Kyoko's death. Alright, sure, Aoi's death was kind of pointless, but Kyoko did serve a function. Her death was supposed to unite both Makoto and Murakata together. Both of them has lost someone to despair, but both of them have very different ideas of how they should fight that despair. One believes to destroy all of despair, while one believes hope must be achieved through despair. So if anything, Kyoko's death was supposed to unite both character arcs to the same level. But even then, Hyogo's death has been made pointless with Hope Arc, the worst arc in the entire series. Alright, fair enough. Her death was mitigated by her coming back to life, and it was fanservice candy, and it was annoying and stuff, but... Come on, is this really the first time Kodaka pulled this kind of stunt? You see, this is what I'm talking about. He is keep on finding ways to justify the creation of trash and the consumption of it, so at the end, the industry keeps pushing out more trash instead of actual good stuff. Okay then, I'm sorry for enjoying Eastern trash, y'all, but come on, you can't possibly tell me you don't see just even one small good thing about this show? Well, the thing, obviously not, goddammit. Has this guy even paid attention to us? The thing is, it took so many liberties to the point it deviated itself from the source material. And hell, the problem is, they even had the balls to pull Kodaka on us and think they can pull some plot twist on us and think we're stupid. Oh, God, heaven forbid. They think we cannot think for ourselves, for crying out loud. All the plot twists I can see coming from a mile away, and they're all just so goddamn predictable. So what if the story is predictable? That shouldn't disqualify the whole goddamn thing. Hell, I say even if the story is predictable, that shouldn't mean it's bad. The story can still be good by that logic. Hell, remember the last time Kodaka wrote an unpredictable ending? Everybody hated it. Oi, watch your mouth. At least one of them have Kokichi and an actual good story. I'd rather play V3 again than watching this piece of shit. I will have to agree. Even with the broken ending of V3, it is still way better than Danganronpa 3 could have possibly offered. No, you can't be serious. The sad thing about Danganronpa 3 is that it has practically wasted years of a character development either by the excuse of fanservice or pulling off plot twists that makes no sense. No, Danganronpa 3 has attempted to be something so big it has officially wasted itself with the master plan that makes no fucking sense. No. And even if the writers have good intentions, it is undeniable they have left the Danganronpa franchise in a sour note and forever lowered the quality standard for the entire franchise. No. Danganronpa 3 has been officially the worst anime I've seen since the Gundam Seed Destiny. No.
Oh, hey guys. Oh, hey.
Oh, you / Chuck, you actually came back. Have you come back to make reparations? What? No, I'm not here for that. I'm here to tell you all that I finally completed my character essay. Oh, what did I tell you about the character forcing Chuck? We lost so many respect because of that. What's wrong with them? Is it really such a bad thing to like this fucking show? Why? Why is everyone so fucking stupid? It's all the same. Maybe you guys should, I don't know, set your expectations right?
No, it wasn't. Shut the fuck up. This show wasn't worth jack shit.
Then fuck you all! Nothing has fucking changed. Or maybe something does need to change. What? You are just focusing on the wrong thing. How did you get in here? That should not be your concern right now. What should be your concern is the current problem at hand. Oh yeah, no shit! What were you trying to do when you put me down a fucking hellhole? To finally fix your problem once and for all. What problem? I was just trying to get them to like Danganronpa 3. Is it so fucking hard to do so? And why is that, I ask? Because they need to see that how good of the show this is. All these years they have been treating it as if this is some kind of black sheep within the family. I was just trying to get them to appreciate it for once. And why is that important? Because the entire Danganronpa fandom is full of heartless idiots who can't just seem to appreciate something, I don't know, fun for once? Like fan service or had a happy ending or anything like that. Why is it so hard? You still don't get the problem here, do you? Get what? What is there to get? Tell me. Listen, Akiba, I have known you since the beginning. And ever since then, I have always seen this little problem in you that you don't seem to want to face it or you don't know it's there. Because of that, I decided to send you to the subreddit to hopefully see something, at least something, change within you. But it looks like I'll need to pull an Evangelion on you. What the fuck are you talking about? Let me put it simply. If what you said was really true, then why even bother trying to convince them that Danganronpa 3 is good? What is stopping you from just taking the bullet hit and enjoying the day? After all, they didn't even ask for this, did they?
Because you fucking sent me there to... Well, firstly, you can finally be at peace with the fandom. Secondly, you can finally justify your sad existence. Thirdly, you can also contribute to the fandom to make it slowly better and less toxic. And finally, if you have been paying attention to what I'm saying here, it is proof that you can actually do all of this stuff.
Oh wait, sorry, what? Oh, hey boss, sorry, I was not paying attention. I was bidding my Gundam model kit. Oh, silly me. Anyway, you were saying?
He didn't send me there to defend Danganronpa 3.
And what makes you think they'll listen? They made their stance very clear. They don't like Danganronpa 3.
Oh, I'm counting on it.
I sent you there to make peace with the Danganronpa fandom. I did not send you there to defend your trash anime, did I? But wait, if that's the case, then why? And that's the thing, isn't it? When you are truly there to make peace with the fandom, all you had to do was to go in there, announce your opinions, let them hit you with their own opinions, and just carry on with your day. But what's the first thing you do?
Okay, neighbors, listen up. While we're here, why don't we just make this a little bit more interesting today? Seeing how literally no one else will show up today, and I conveniently enough brought an essay here that I'm definitely not bringing here to push some kind of agenda. So while we're here, why don't we have a little bit of a lecturing today? Here is why Danganronpa 3, it is not as bad as you think it is. Starting with,
all of what happened after that could have easily been avoided and you would have been on your road to redemption. But no, what is the first thing you did? Provoking them and then in turn firing back and let a non-stop conflict continue like all those years ago.
But they shot first, they were asking for debate.
And you could have ended it all with either one, a rejection to debate, or two, an acknowledgement of other people's opinions and respect it. This is the kind of behavior that is the reason why so many other fandoms to this day are so toxic, when all you had to do was shut up. And all of that for what?
Wait, so you sent me there to get my ass kicked?
Yes! It was me testing you to see if you have finally learned something about community toxicity. But based on what happened earlier, you received just as much development as Yonaga Angie.
She's dead.
My point exactly. If you really think the whole community is stupid and shit, why is the first thing you do is to go in there and start a debate to make yourself look like a fool that frankly, it is not necessary. You're going in there to make peace, not start a fight.
Because no one else in the community will defend this thing that I love.
But there was one person defending Danganronpa 3. You!
Well, that...
Okay, neighbors, I know the future arc episode is not that good, but maybe it'll get better from here. After all, we still got 6 more episodes to go. Listen, I'm not saying we should not debate with people. I debate with people all the time. But the thing is, I've seen you starting up debates about Danganronpa 3 since the very beginning, and ever since then you have kept on doing it whenever you have the opportunity. And it's only until recently you finally stopped. And because of that, in my deduction, I say you did not go in there to defend Danganronpa 3 because you legit want to change the community. You are trying to defend Danganronpa because you are trying to cure your insecurity about the idea that you are the last man who likes Danganronpa 3. I see. So this is what fueled me for so long. All I ever wanted was just for someone to say that I was not alone in this opinion. But I let that notion turn me into a monster. A normie who is no better than the normies he's trying to fight against. In the end, that insecurity became an excuse to become the very thing I wanted to destroy. Looks like you've still got a long way to go. Oh, don't you pull that stunt on me. You know all of that was unnecessary.
You know just as much as I do that this is 100% necessary.
I am still trying to understand how is humiliating other users based on their own opinions supposed to be a good thing. We have lost so many other users and respect because of this. Why are you trying to add more fuel to it?
Don't you get it?
Danganronpa has never been good since Ultra Despair Girls, and it is people like him who keep on encouraging the making of trash like this, and it's only until Kodaka made Danganronpa V3 to keep the whole damn thing out. Oh, what nonsense! I don't like Danganronpa V3, but even then, that is no way to treat a fellow user, damn it. And that's another thing. People are always saying that these things will appeal to them even though their tiny little brain knows it's not good for them objectively. It is because we let these people like trash, it degraded the top quality standards of all these games and animes and everything we consume nowadays. Why do you think there's so many trash anime made nowadays? It is because these pedal otakus are allowed to like them. This is why Hayao Miyazaki hates anime nowadays. We let people get addicted to trash. Don't look at me and say I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Oh, how dare you!
And before you say it, I have no Twitter.
At least I can get you on TikTok.
But I still don't understand all this. What are you trying to accomplish out of all this humiliating? If anything, this is just making the whole community more toxic and less welcoming and just make us look like we want to cuck everybody. And I'm already tired of getting cucked.
Then what do you want me to do? Sit back on the front lines and let people enjoy all this stupid trash? All I'm really doing is just telling people to start demanding good quality stuff instead of eating all this fan service nonsense. That is the reason why things like Danganronpa S exist. It is shit because people keep on asking for the shit. Why do you think I want to do all this? Do you think I found pleasure out of all this? Obviously not. I just want good stuff, goddammit. Hell, even you admit that Danganronpa standards has never been the same.
And even if the writers have good intentions, it is undeniable they have left the Danganronpa franchise in the sour note and forever lowered the quality standard for the entire franchise.
So with that logic, Edmonton, I ask you this. What is the difference between you and me?
Well, there is one difference between you and me, and that is that I want people to have the freedom to enjoy whatever they want. At the end of the day, this is all just entertainment. And even then, even when I don't like Danganronpa 3, I can still admit there are some good things out of it that I can thoroughly enjoy. And the fact that you are outright going to ruin other people's lives out of all of this proves to me that you are nothing but a beta cuck.
I can't help that part. We are all virgins at the end of the day.
On the contrary, fellow user, I am not a virgin. So what's your excuse?
Another thing was, after all these years, even though so much time progressed, no one else seemed to agree with me in all this. Like, I just felt like I'm alone in all this. As if there's something wrong with me. But that's not true. It is entertainment at the end of the day, and taste is subjective. If you like it, then that's completely fine. You don't need to conform your own opinions with the surrounding people. I have a lot of unpopular opinions and I still stand by them. We are all human at the end of the day. But that's the problem! People keep on saying that we can like whatever the hell we want, but I never believed that. I mean, think about it. I like something that is so distasteful and controversial, literally hundreds, thousands of other people can see the problem with it, but some reason I couldn't. I mean, granted, I can't see the problem, but I don't hate it. But clearly hundreds of other people can see the problem over here. So by that logic, isn't it me who has the problem? For I cannot see what something that's supposed to be so obvious, hundreds of other thousands of people within the community can't see it? Okay, look, I am all out of air to side with. Look, just come with me.
Where the hell am I going? I've been walking for 45 minutes and I'm not even any closer, am I?
A little bit closer and yes.
Here?
Right there. Take a look at this lad over here.
That's an early weeb. What do you want me to see?
Keep looking.
Wait a minute. Is this guy watching Fate Stay Night 2006?
Yes, but not only that. It is a very specific copy of Fate Stay Night 2006.
Is that?
Let's see, what can we watch? Ah yes, Fate Stay Night, a classic, but which one though? It doesn't say. Is that the one from 2006? Oh god!
Shit, fuck!
Yes, the show that you despise so much to the point that you literally throw it away to harm the environment. It is right now being enjoyed by this lad over here.
Yeah, that's the exact DVD of mine. And wait, where did he even get it? I threw it out. Wait, that's not even the important thing. Why is he enjoying this?
Because he sees something in this show that no one else could.
The fact that he's enjoying something and you did not, it is proof that entertainment is subjective.
Yeah, but he's enjoying Fate Stay Night 2006. What the hell is wrong with him?
Yes, but does that mean he is somehow stupid?
Well,
If he is, then go on. Attack him.
wait, what?
He is ruining entertainment with his terrible taste, so go in there and be our hero. Fix him.
Wait, I cannot do that. I'm sure he's wrong in liking Fate Stay Night 2006, but I don't have the right to tell him what to watch.
You certainly did have the right back at the subreddit though.
What are you?
Why? Why is everyone so fucking stupid? So I ask you again, does it really matter if you are alone in liking something?
Well, I honestly don't know. I mean, what's the point of liking something when you have no one else to enjoy it with?
But that's not the point. Life is about the pursuit of happiness. It should not come from others' approval. All that matters if it's making you happy. I have to spend a good chunk of my otaku life being alone, but that did not matter to me because I was happy with my anime. I even have things in anime that I appreciate like hentai, lollies, fan service, waifus, and so much more. It is all heavily despised by not just by normies, but even people within the anime community. But who gives a fuck? I'm not hurting anybody. I'm just happy being myself.
I suppose so, but do I really have to be alone in that aspect?
Obviously not. When I became an otaku, I met people who I can call friends, people who share the same ideas as me. And while you think you are alone in Danganronpa 3, I can assure you, there is at least one person out there who shares your opinion. You just have to find them.
Well, I suppose so.
Now, isn't there something you need to do back at the subreddit? Neighbors, I'm sorry.
For what?
For being an asshole. All the fighting we just had, all the yelling and screaming we just had, all of that could have been easily avoided, but I pulled the trigger anyway. I'm the one who started the whole thing, and I couldn't finish it. But the thing is, I did it out of pure instinct at this point. I want to like Danganronpa 3, and throughout my time within the fandom, I always felt guilty about it because I feel like I was just contributing to something that's potentially harmful. But at the end, I'm the one who pulled the trigger anyway, so whose fault is it really at this point? Well, I do accept your apology, but I too am sorry. Unconditionally. I may have went a bit too far. Is that good enough? Yes, you have done well. And this is also the part where I must also apologize. For I realized I failed to balance out the arguments and made this a bit too one-sided for you.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, I don't like Danganronpa 3, but there are still things in Danganronpa 3 that I appreciate. Like Murakata. He is a great character, he has a great character arc, and I want to see more of him.
Wow, Hamilton, I don't know what to say.
As much as I really hated Danganronpa 3, I cannot deny it did bring a proper conclusion and a real closure to the whole franchise. Now we can actually rest assured that all the characters that we spent so much time and love so much is now finally at peace.
But though V3 kind of fucked that ending up.
Don't ruin the moment. And I will admit, consuming largest amount of fan service is not good for the body. But despite that, when I first saw Class and Descend together again, it's just such a happy moment. I mean, sure, it's not well written, but even then, seeing them just being happy with each other for once instead of coming at each other's throats is just brings me so much joy. I just want to see these people happy with each other. And even within the finale of Hope Arc, sure, it's a bit cheesy and all, but seeing them together again, it's so wholesome. And even though I have said so many bad things about the series, if there's one thing I can say good about it, the opening for Future and the Spare arc has been really fucking awesome. I mean, even to this day, I still jam to it.
Wow, you guys can actually see some good in this series? Yes, we can! After all, nothing in the show is perfect. Nothing in this franchise is perfect. Not even Danganronpa 2 is perfect.
So that's why people don't like you.
Wow, so I guess we found peace then. Yes, we have, fellow user. So with that being said, if you will not mind, would you like to join us in our seasonal festivities for tonight? After all, Christmas is right around the corner. What better way to celebrate it than with those people who you once called enemies with but now have finally made peace with? Well, I do appreciate it, but I think I need some reflection time for a while. What do you mean? We are approaching at the end of our character arcs! Yes, but the thing is, I kinda don't get why I like Danganronpa 3 anymore. Don't be silly, you literally gave us a bunch of reasons earlier. Yeah, that's the case, but the thing is, all of my points earlier can easily be refuted by all of you. I mean, think about it. If all of the reasons you stand for something can easily be wronged, then do they even carry any weight at all? That's the problem, you see. At that point, there is no proper reason for me to like Danganronpa 3 if that's the case. I'm sorry, I need some time. Just give me a while.
This show royally pissed me off. It started out as something that I could laugh at because of how utterly ridiculous it was, but it took almost no time for them to go 0 to 60 and destroy everything they built up from plot to characters to world building.
They only killed her off because the writers wanted a shock kill and to pull at your nostalgic heartstrings. I'm not mad at the fact she died. There could have been plenty of other ways to have it happen in a way that was satisfying, but no, she dies because main character man stayed alive. Who could have predicted that?
This plan makes no sense to me. And even when I tried to break it down based off of what I knew about him, it still really doesn't make any sense, so...
And centering everything on the zero personality Mitsurai is such a fucking waste of time.
In Hope's side, we also learned the origins of Chiaki's AI. But when I went back to rewatch it to make this review, I realized I'm a little salty about this revelation.
I hate her because she's perfect and boring, and even though it makes sense for her to lack humanity as an AI, this aspect isn't really used to add to her character at all. Well, that just flew out the fucking window now that she's templated off what was supposed to be an actual human being.
Yeah, you felt emotional attachment to these characters and were sad to see many of them go, but understood why it happened? I got an idea. How about we take all that emotional resonance and completely throw it out the door by having them all revived?
None of the other characters in the second game get even the slightest bit of development, despite the despair arc allegedly being all about how these beacons of hope fell to despair and destroyed the world. And all that isn't even mentioning the fact that they completely invalidated every death from the second game, as well as the 2 deaths from within their own show just to bait your emotions.
I actually liked this anime.
Wait, that's not even the important thing. Why is he enjoying this? Because he sees something in the show that no one else could. Well, I mean, I don't like Danganronpa 3, but there's still things in Danganronpa 3 that I appreciate. Like Murakata. He is a great character, he has a great character arc, and I want to see more of him. But that's not the point. Life is about the pursuit of happiness. It should not come from others' approval. All that matters if it's making you happy. I have to spend a good chunk of my otaku life being alone, but that did not matter to me because I was happy with my anime. I can actually get behind that. Naegi has so far only been challenged within his own ideas of hope against despair. This is the time, however, to see how good he is at being the ultimate hope. This to me is what made Murakata and Makoto so compelling here. All Junko really has done so far is being the big bad for Makoto, but Murakata here actually has his own idea of hope. So it made his clash against Makoto so much more interesting. Naegi believes that both hope and despair is needed for the world to exist, while Murakata thinks that getting rid of despair is the only way to achieve hope. This is what made the whole thing so compelling for me in the first place and motivated me to continue watching the series. Wow, I actually didn't thought of it that way. Neighbors! You / Akibataku, you came back? I got it now. I understand why the Danganronpa tree is so good to me. Then what are you waiting for? Fire away! What are you talking about, Edmonton? You're the one who helped me solidify this whole thing. What are you referring to? Look, can we just get to the climax already? Well, to simplify everything, up until UTG, all until we know is that this is just a battle between hope and despair. But Danganronpa 3 is the first time ever where the franchise actually questioned what is this hope we are coming after for?
Think about it. For the first 2 games, it has always been about hope versus despair. It is literally black and white. Not even UDG dare dive deep into that idea. But Danganronpa 3 actually introduced the concept of false hope in the form of Murakara. He is what we think hope is, but Makoto is actually what hope should be. We can see what kind of hope we want to chase down, but at the end of it all, it will cause us to do horrible things in the process. You say that, didn't you, Edmonton?
Wait, I have accomplished such an amazing thing? Oh yeah, you did tell him that. Practically every Danganronpa material that has been offered to us up until this point has always been about you can become this hope if you try hard enough, while Danganronpa 3 also offers the same message, but it even adds more context by asking us, what kind of hope do we actually want to become? And to me, that's what makes it so good. It adds a whole new meaning and dimension to the concept of hope within the franchise. And obviously, that does not excuse all of the wrongdoings it has done, but honestly, I don't give a shit. I don't care because I am enjoying this series for what it's worth. The good outweighs the bad for me, and that's good enough. And that's the reason why I have such a strong attachment to it. It is just as important to me as the rest of this franchise. Well, congratulations! You have completed your character development. Well, really then? Yeah. So this is what it feels like to be at peace with the fandom then. Underwhelming. Well, to be fair, I still hate Danganronpa 3 with all of my heart and passion, but despite that, I think people should be allowed to like what the hell they want. That's right, fellow user. That is what makes franchises very unique. None of them is actually perfect, which is why it's so fun to discuss about them. Of course. And hey, even if we have our differing opinions, at least we can all get along for this season. It is Christmas time after all. What is that noise? I think it's coming from your laptop. My laptop? Who are all these people and why are they all handicapped? These people are the former users of r/Danganronpa. And no, they are not handicapped. They are just permanently glued to their armchairs. This is what the average Redditor looks like, you see. But wait, why are they back? But more importantly, why are they cancelling this time? I think they're after me, but I'm already doxed on Instagram. What is it this time? And before you say it, I have no Twitter. At least I can get you on TikTok. You actually did it! Yes, but Edmonton does not have a TikTok, so I went after his family instead. On Christmas Eve? For the last time, Edmonton, I am telling you, what happened to your family earlier was not your fault. How could it be? You didn't know your family was selling their private information to a goddamn bio-lizard? Yes, exactly. Yes, don't worry, we will get them back somehow. We just gotta make a deal with the devil. Yes, of course. Oh, by the way, what's gonna happen to Naito-stan now? Well, that seems fair enough, I guess, but come on, tone it down a little bit. He just committed doxing, not fucking corruption. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, thanks for that too, actually. I actually really needed it now that I think about it. Okay, Merry Christmas, and remember, Title World. Strange. Thank you, boss.
Merry Christmas, friend.
Danganronpa 3 on Blu-ray? It's all the 4-volume set too, coming straight from Japan, with all the goodies and stuff. Oh, holy fuck, I know what I'm gonna do for Christmas tonight.
Well, finally made it. It's Christmas, alright. Let's make it a good one.